afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world, on this earth, on some other plane of existence, maybe somewhere out there in Space City. If Space City weren't on Earth, where would it be, I wonder? Don't know. I really don't know. But wherever you are, everywhere you go, you are under the authority of the Houston Astros. Hopefully some Marlins fans or some other teams' fans sometimes hear that and it drives them up the wall. That's my hope. Anyway, so today we have game 2. We had a really nice game 1 versus the Astros, or the Astros at Miami. Eight to 2. My hope for that game is that the Astros would not have just one big blow-up inning, but they would add on some other runs in other innings, and they were actually able to do that. So I was quite satisfied that they tacked on some extra runs. I'm back home today. Had a very interesting day yesterday. It was a really, really long day yesterday. I got up at about 4:30. Hey, Glenn and Gregory, welcome in. I see you got your Astros homer predictions. Cam Smith. Do you always pick 3 people? You're picking 33% of the lineup. You got a good chance of getting at least one of those, right? Cam Smith, Christian Walker, and Jesus Sanchez. Let's take a quick look at the lineup. We got a few more minutes right now. They're flashing the lights on the field. They're getting ready for the game. But I think we can take a look at the lineup for today. Let me mute this. Difficult to think and speak while listening to the commentators at the same time. Jeremy Pena is leading it off today at shortstop. Batting second is Jesus Sanchez out in left field. Jose Altuve is the DH today, batting third. Carlos Correa at third base, batting fourth. Christian Walker at first base, batting fifth. Yainer Diaz is catching today, batting sixth. Cam Smith in right field, batting seventh. Mauricio Dubon in center field, batting eighth. And Ramon Urias at second base, batting ninth. I suppose some of you, if not all of you, have seen the news that today we are starting the game with Steven Okert. He will be on the mound for the Astros today, and they put Arrighetti on the mound for tomorrow. We'll see how things go. Right now in the chat we've got Shake and Crispy, Gregory, Glenn, Michael, Patrick. Howdy to you all. It's good to see you. Yeah, I still do wonder though about the lineup, because they moved Cam Smith up a little bit, but Cam Smith, even though he's been struggling, he seems to do so much better when he has opportunities to drive guys in. And where they're putting him in the lineup right now, he doesn't really have the opportunity to do that. He's behind Walker and Diaz. And Walker and Diaz are the two. I think to put Walker and Diaz back to back is a terrible mistake. The reason is because out of this lineup, they are the two least dependable. when it comes to getting on base. The strikeout rate is high. It's a coin flip whether or not they can get something done. And when you put two guys behind each other back to back in the lineup like that, it creates a dead spot in the lineup. So I don't agree with putting Walker and Diaz back to back. I did see a couple of lineup recommendations that I thought were pretty amazing. One of those, they put Altuve in the 9th slot. Can you believe that? And I thought, well, I know that there's no way they would ever be able to put Altuve in the 9th slot because he's Jose Altuve. But when I dug into the reasons why the data suggests that he would be good in the 9th slot, it's not because of Altuve, it's because of the rest of the lineup, the way the rest of the lineup is built. You've got some guys who are better at getting on base, and then you have some guys who are better at driving them in. And by putting the lineup like this, where you've got, Pena, Sanchez, Altuve, Correa right off the bat, you make your lineup a little top heavy, and then the guys coming in behind them are what you would call, how do you call it? Rally killers. They're rally killers. Putting Walker and Diaz back to back behind these four guys are what you call rally killers. So you have to space them out a little bit. They're showing some Okert highlights now. Hi, Brendan. How's it going? Hi, Jordan. Welcome in. Yeah, slowly but surely getting healthy. Slowly but surely. Yeah, you're right, Shake. We need to have some kind of depth, and that's another reason why they were talking about putting Altuve. And I say they, like I said, I ran this program that took a ton of information. I don't know why I did this. I guess I was just interested in seeing how different it was from what Joe Espada was doing. But I ran this program for several hours the other day. I think I spent 5 hours. I spent 5 hours doing research. Maybe one day I can do a video about that. That would be interesting, maybe. I spent 5 hours to just do deep research on the Astros lineup and how they perform not only against lower and mid-tier and upper tier pitchers, but also how they perform against left-handers versus right-handers. Hang on a second. I got an issue with my camera. I'm trying to move things around on the screen a little bit there. There we go. That's better. Okay. Had an issue with my camera on the screen. But anyway, after going through that 5 hours of research and building a profile for every single player and then feeding in the information, I can literally take any opponent's pitcher and their stats and put it into the formula, and then it will not only tell me what the recommended batting order is, it will also predict how many runs they are likely to get minimal, and it also will take Espada's lineup and predict the runs there, the difference. It'll show how it could be optimized, and it shows some really, really deep information. I doubt Springer would lead off, Gregory. I can't imagine taking Pena out for Springer or moving them out of that order. I don't think anybody would ever put Springer before Pena. To me, it was just a matter of time before they put Pena in front of Altuve. Looks like we're getting ready for the first pitch in just a few moments. Looking forward to this game. Much more comfortable calling this game today than yesterday. Yesterday, not only was I in a rush, I had so many things to do and didn't have access to all of the tools that I usually have. But today it's no problem. Long story short, yesterday I was offered a teaching position in another city. But I haven't yet decided if that's for me. I'll have to consider it. It's a big decision. It's about an hour drive from here. You know what? If Springer were playing pretty well, I would be more than happy to see him between Walker and Diaz. We need somebody between Walker and Diaz. Putting Diaz behind Walker is a bad decision. Sometimes it works out, but on the average it does not. First pitch is on the way. Up and in for strike one. 88-mile-per-hour cutter. Cal Quantrill is on the mound. Pena batting .324. He's been doing pretty good since he's been back. It's like he never left. Here comes the first pitch, or second pitch rather. Slider, swing and a miss. Oh and 2 is the count to the Flash. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one's hit high and foul over on the right side into the crowd for a repeat count. Yeah, Espada has had a difficult job, but I know everybody's talking about how many lineup changes he's had, and some of those he doesn't really have too much control over. He has to work with what he has, but it also shows that he's not looking at the data too closely, and I don't like that. Looks like there's a pitch comm problem. Astros wanted a timer violation, and now they're bringing a new receiver to Quantrill. I don't know who makes these pitch comms, but they suck, don't they? They really suck. So we can communicate with cameras and satellites millions of miles away, but we can't communicate after 3 pitches just a few feet away. Okay. In the dirt and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A leadoff triple. That'd be nice, Gregory. Got to bring him home, though. Here's the next toss. That'd be a different kind of triple, Gregory. That's a strike 3. Triple strike. Swing and a foul tip miss for strikeout number 1 for Quantrill and 86-mile-per-hour splitter. Jeremy goes down. That brings up Mr. Sanchez. Here's the first pitch. Whoa, right in there, and he hacked at it. Couldn't get a hold of it, though. Let me readjust my preview screen here. There we go. Okay, that's a little better. Next pitch is on the way. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the next pitch. That's hit hard to the right side. That's a base hit, baby. Line drive right through the right side between the first and second baseman on the 1-1 count. Jesus. Hey, Jesus. Suddenly I want to call him Jesus. Like Zeus. You know what I'm saying? Altuve at the plate with one runner on. He goes after the first pitch and pops it foul. 1 strike, no balls. Sanchez wants an emoji. He's working on it. He's going to get there. He's going to get there. We need some more members. We need some more members to the channel to get some more emojis. Can't make any more right now. This is hit hard to left field, all the way out to the wall. Could be gone. It's gone. Altuve with a home run on the 0-1 pitch. Thank you, Altuve. I've been waiting for another freaking home run. 2-0 in the first inning. Sanchez on base, and Altuve brings him in with a homer to left field. A good 4 feet over the fence. There you go, baby. That's what I like to see right there, my man. 104.9 off the bat. He still got it. Look how short he is compared to everybody else in the dugout. He's having to reach up to do the high fives. Correa goes after it on the first pitch, but fouls it off. 0-1. With that home run, he passes Lance Berkman for all-time extra base hits on the Astros list. 728 versus 727. How about that? Jose Altuve now in third place. 0-2 to Correa. Here's the pitch in the dirt outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We get the Altuve snap in the first inning, baby. That's right. DeLion and I are thinking the same thing at the same time. Altuve snap, baby. That's a high pitch, and they say he went around. That's strike 3. Craig goes down on strikes with the check swing that he couldn't quite hold up. Here's Altuve's swing. 89 cutter right above the zone. Look at this. All right. Walker goes after the first pitch and hits it out to center field, but it looks like it's going to be played. That was a nice drive, almost to the warning track and dead center. Walker gave it a ride on the first pitch, but he flew out. That's going to be it. But it's 2-0 at the end of the top of the first, courtesy of one Jose Altuve. Sanchez doing his job and getting on base with the single to right field. Altuve coming up immediately after on an 0-1 count and taking the high sinker to task all the way out to left field. It's 2-0 with 2 hits. The Astros are up. How about that? Steven Okert is going to be on the mound for the Stros. He'll be up in just a minute. King Tuck, welcome back. King Tuck, I saw you in a live chat somewhere else, and somebody said that you got banned somewhere. I didn't think that you were that type of person. You out there ruffling somebody's feathers? I was kind of surprised to see that. I mean, you haven't been around here in a while. Or maybe you've been lurking. But when I saw somebody said something about you being banned somewhere, I thought, really? I never thought of you as the type of person to get banned somewhere. I thought so. Somebody said something about that, but I didn't have time to ask about it. Sometimes I have to listen to or take a quick look at the other podcasts that are going on. The time of day and what's going on in my life at the time means I can't always sit and respond and listen to the live streams. I wish I could, but some of these live streams start at like 5 in the morning. Well, the Dodgers fans deserve to be brutal too, so I can forgive that. I'm brutal to the Dodgers fans also. Okert is on the mound, taking a couple of warm-up pitches there. First batter is going to be Xavier Edwards, followed by Augustine Ramirez and Kyle Stowers. Absolutely, Tuve indeed. Not all heroes wear capes. Altuve is Superman. Yes, he is. Little man can hit. Yes, he can, Gregory. Yeah, DeLion, finally. I hope he gets another one today, DeLion, and takes the lead, because Paredes is out, and yet he still has the most home runs on the team. It'd be nice if Altuve took that over in today's game, wouldn't it? That'd be awesome. To have an active player in the lead, that would make me feel good, especially if it's Altuve. First pitch from Okert on the way. High, ball 1. Professor Xavier Edwards at the plate. This is Xavier Edwards for the baseball players, for the ungifted school of the baseball player Marlins. What in the world's going on there? Maybe I've got a little quirk. Yeah, 1 ball and no strikes. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. What in the world is going on? MLB TV having some strange issues suddenly. Second pitch is high for ball 2, but I'm gonna refresh my screen because it seems like MLB is having a little brain fart right now. 2-0 to Edwards is the count from what I know. Strike 1. Seems like there was a foul ball off of Diaz. MLB TV's just started freaking out there for a moment. Next pitch is in there for a ground ball to the right side. Walker's got it and takes it over himself for out number 1. Professor Xavier from the School for Ungifted Baseball Players goes down. That brings up Augustine Ramirez. You blame the alcohol. Understandable. Outside, the first pitch to Ramirez. One and 0 is the count. Is the count. Here's the pitch. One strike. It's 1-1 right now. 1 ball, 1 strike on that foul. Brendan, I think today will be very relaxed, so don't worry. Don't be stressed, bro. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Ramirez fouls that one away for strike 2. 1-2. Hey, Caesar, you too. I'm always happy to see you. You've been around for quite a while. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. We get served a little bit of fried Okerts. A nice hot plate of fried Okert for out number 2. Okert gets an OK. The first OK of the game for Okert. First pitch is a little low and outside to Kyle Stowers. Stowers is, that name is messing me up. Here comes the pitch. Right on that outside edge. Good toss. That pitch was an Okert original. You could tell by the way he paints the edges. 1-1 is the count. Another one on the edge, but foul tip on the half swing. Same result. Strike 2, baby. 1-2. No, Stowers calls a little timeout. I'm going to try to readjust to my game highlight window. I want to I want to get a little better of a selection for you guys on here. Maybe that will be good. Whoops. Next pitch is outside for ball 2. Maybe that'll be good. That's a little better. Here's the next pitch. This is hit hard to the right side. What a catch! What a play by Urias. Did you see that catch? Diving catch to save a hit to the right side for out number 3. Tosses it over. Look at this. Boom, baby. Yeah. Okert's loving that. A hard hit ground ball that went to the right side. There was almost no reaction time. Urias laid out completely horizontal, caught that ball, jumped up and fired it to Walker for out number 3. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Holy freaking cow, that was a great play. Man. Love it. 65 people listening in. Thank you for being here today. Arigatou gozaimasu. Otsukare-sama deshita. Thank you for your hard work. I see that we have 24 likes. Oh, it just shot up to 85. 85 people listening in. We are between the between the innings right now. We just wrapped up with the first inning. Astros 2 hits, 2 runs. Single by Sanchez, followed by a 2-run homer, courtesy of Jose Altuve, and that put the Astros up 2-0. Marlins 3 up and 3 down in the bottom of the first. Now we go to the top of the first. Yainer Diaz will be up in just a few moments. Stick with me, and we'll be starting that when they come back from commercial break. But if you have not liked the live stream, please take the opportunity to do so right now. The more likes, the more viewers, the more viewers, the more likes, the more subs, the more the channel grows, the more YouTube spreads the love. It's kind of crazy because there's another channel that just started a couple of months ago. It has nothing to do with baseball, but in 2 months he went to 10,000 viewers, and all he does is talk about China. And I thought, it feels sad to me that the Astros channel here is now a year old, and I'm still not at 1,000 subs. And I've done a ton of videos. This other guy hasn't done nearly as many videos, and all he does is talk about China, and he's already at 10,000 in like 2 months. Change my channel to China? Diaz rips that one down the line foul, just barely foul. Almost an extra base hit there. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. You were giving some grief to McCormick? I see. Okay. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Diaz taps that one to the left side, and the pitcher is able to get it and fire over to first base. Almost an infield hit, but not quite. Well played by the pitcher, Quantrill. 1 away. Willard says the Astros are probably soon. Congratulations, Willard, man. That's the first positive comment I've seen you make in a long time. I'm happy to see that. Here's the pitch. This is way up in the air. Cam Smith hits that up. A fly ball to right field. Shallow right field put away, no problem. That's out number 2. 19 pitches now for Quantrill. 2 up and 2 down. Nothing going so far in the second inning. Dubon is due up next. King Tuck says, how does everyone know that I've got banned? Swing and a miss. 0-1 is the count to Dubon. That last pitch a little high, and he tried to go up and get it. Couldn't make contact. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Dubon shows bunt, puts it right in front of the plate. The catcher grabs it, throws over. Not necessarily a bad idea with one strike, but putting it right in front of the plate means that the catcher can get to it quickly. So not a bad idea, just execution wasn't quite there. Out number 3, that's it for the Astros in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second, 2 hits for the Stros, 2 runs, no errors. The Marlins are all zeros right now. Yes, that's right, Crispy. Urias made a really great defensive play. That was really something. I need to move my game highlight window. It's still not quite lined up. I don't know why it keeps getting funky. Should be okay now. Yeah, now it's okay. Keeps getting moved around. Everything's shifting around after yesterday. Things are kind of out of place, so I had to fix them up. Yeah, Deline, that's old school Altuve. Yeah, you've been here. You've been here, Caesar. Thank you so much. I noticed stuff like that. Some of the names in the chat I remember from last year. You know, last year was a really, really rough year for me in many ways. And doing the games was a way to kind of get my mind off of other things that were going on in my life. Get refocused, you know, do something enjoyable. But I realized that it was bothering me too much when they weren't performing well. I was getting a little too emotionally involved. And I realized that in order to really enjoy anything in life, you have to be able to not get emotionally bent out of shape when things don't go a certain way. Strike 1 on the outside edge against Otto. That was an automatic strike. Here's the next pitch. Below the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike from Okert. Yeah, Pena hasn't hit a homer in a while. Grounded foul down the third base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dram Bam, I haven't seen the new interview, but I really do like hearing what Dubon has to say. He often says things that are really simple but insightful, very accurate. Caleb Ord is already warming up in the bullpen. Here comes the next pitch. Low and inside. Ball 3, the count is full. Could have been a strike there. That was a nice toss. Okert will change the ball. Yeah, definitely keep scoring. Keep chipping away, a run here, a run there. Put about 6 or more on the board. Here's the pitch. That's right in the zone, hit high in the air. Walker is over. Looks like he's got room. Puts it away right in the coach's box. Out number 1, and that's 4 retired in a row by Okert. Yeah, you're right, Gregory. Getting a couple of runs on the board in the first inning is nice. The key now is consistency. Just keep doing that. Keep putting runners on. Keep bringing them in. Here's the pitch. Nice pitch in the top of the zone for strike 1. Heriberto Hernandez at the plate for the Marlins. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Hit right up the middle. That's going to be a base hit, the first one of the game. A 1-out runner on first with a ground ball right up the middle. Gregory, I was doing the same thing, Gregory. I was doing the same thing. You're talking about that lady, right? The lady that does the Spanish version on YouTube. That's absolutely right. I was listening to her sometimes too, but my Spanish is just not good enough. I couldn't really enjoy it. 91 miles an hour, just slightly above the zone. 1-0, the count versus Liam Hicks. Hicks at the plate with 1 out, runner on first. The 1-0 pitch from Okert is on the way, right in there. 91 miles an hour on the fastball. 1-1 is the count. That's one of the reasons why I started the channel, Gregory. I just got tired of nobody else doing it. A little high, check swing. Did he go around? No, they say he did not. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rally up Astros all around the United States and the world. That's right. And the universe. Don't forget the universe. Don't forget existence. Here's the note. I thought the 2-1 was on the way, but instead he lobbed it over to first base just to kind of reset the clock. Okert shuffles around on the mound a little bit. You were venting your frustrations and he started trolling you, and that's when you were kind of set off. I see. Here's the pitch. Fouls it off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The slider. Liam Hicks trying to get the bat on it. Okert has other ideas. Yeah, welcome in, Robert. Yeah, I'm the only live play-by-play English YouTuber for the Astros. Here's the pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone. Swing and a miss. How about that? Tommy likey. Tommy want swingy. 81 mile per hour slider. Boom, baby. Okert with the fried. Okert. Stephen okay. He's being pulled out now. He's done his job for the day. Up to 26 pitches. He's about at his limit. So Espada decides it's time to go ahead and pull him out. Brings in Caleb Ort, who's jogging into the game right now. Thank you for your service, Mr. Stephen Okert. Thank you for your service. And it's time to change the picture to Ort. There we go. Caleb Ort. Well, you know, Gregory, Robert, and others, the thing is, there are a ton of people out there. I know there are a ton of people out there that are looking for a live play-by-play English broadcast for the Astros. And they're not finding my channel. Or it's taking them some time to find my channel. And it shouldn't take them that much time, but it is. That has mainly to do with 2 things. One is, of course, word of mouth. Word of mouth matters. People need to spread it around. But the main reason is because of YouTube. YouTube is the main source that decides just how much it will spread it around and recommend it to people. But the thing is, Google owns YouTube. And so when you do searches on Google or searches on YouTube for live play-by-play, if people are doing that and they're not finding my channel or they're not seeing my channel in the first results, then that's a big failure on the part of YouTube, because most people are probably not typing in English, right? English play-by-play. They're just typing in play-by-play. Ort's first pitch is way outside for a ball. He inherited 1 runner on first, 2 outs, and he's facing Eric Wagaman. Here comes the next pitch. A little below the zone. 2-0 is the count. But anyway, there's really only one option. So if you're searching in English, mine should come up number 1. You'd think so. The YouTube and Google doesn't work that way anymore. Low and outside, ball 3. 3 straight balls from Caleb Ort. Here comes a 3-0 pitch to Wagaman. Way outside, a 4-pitch walk. So Ort comes in the game, and immediately we got a jam. We got an old-timey jam now. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. A 4-pitch walk from Ort right off the bat. Yes, these are the 80s and 90s subjects. Yep, 80s and 90s nostalgia. Yeah, I'm loaded up with that, that's for sure. That's for sure. More likes and subs would be nice. Well, there's a problem with that, Pyrochem. I see what you're saying about putting ad space on YouTube, but there's a problem with that. It actually hurts my performance. I've done it before. And I've also done it on other channels. What happens is I get a large amount of views, people clicking on it and looking, but not subscribing, not hanging around, coming in and quickly leaving because it wasn't exactly what they're looking for. So a lot of people click because it looks interesting, but then it's not what they're looking for, so they click away. And so that actually hurts my performance. It makes it harder for me to get found organically. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Jacob Marcy. 2 runners on with 2 outs. Here comes a 1-1 pitch to Marcy. Line drive to left field. That's a single. It's going to score a run. 2-1. Unfortunately, Okert is going to be charged with a run there. Or it gives him a little gift. Opposite field hit. Runners on first and second. But that's enough to score a run. 2-1. Astros. 2 outs. Runners on first and second still. Tuck, they pulled Okert because of his pitch count. You know, Okert's not a starting pitcher. He's a reliever or a middleman, so he can't pitch so many innings. He has a pitch limit. First pitch is a strike to Javier Sanoja. Oh, my second cup of coffee is ready. That next pitch is low. Ball 1. 1-1 is the count. I want to see that heat. Ort, come on, man. Let's see the heat. Show me some of that 98 mile per hour stuff. Here comes the pitch. 96 miles an hour, hit high to center field. Dubon doesn't even have to move. There we go. 3 outs. 2 stranded for the Marlins. They do manage to score a run with 2 hits. 2-1 Astros at the end of 2. We got a 1-run lead. Time to tack on some runs. We're not gonna play a 2-1 game with the Marlins. Urias comes to the plate in just a moment here in the top of the 3rd, followed by Pena and Sanchez. I think we got an opportunity here. If Urias can get on base, Pena can move him around, and maybe Pena will get that home run we were talking about earlier. Maybe he will join the party that Altuve started. Get another 2-run homer. Make it 4-1. That would make me feel somewhat comfortable. Somewhat. Not completely, but a tad. Where in the world did I put my spoon? I know I got a spoon around here somewhere. Anybody got a spoon? I need to stir my coffee. I'm a little confused. How in the world did I misplace my spoon? It seems to have disappeared. Oh. It fell down. I have to clean it off. Looking all around on the desk, getting confused, giving myself a headache, trying to find where in the world did my spoon go. It was just down on the floor. Yeah, I'm not in the closet today. No prison time for me. I served my time yesterday, Robert. I served my time. They let me go free. I'm out on bail or something. All right, Quantrill back on the mound, and Urias takes the first pitch in there for strike one, an 84-mile-per-hour slider. Here comes the next pitch. In the dirt, 1-1. Well, Brendan, that's debatable. I like him better than Neris right now. 86 miles an hour, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But even so, I think our worst bullpen pitcher is not bad. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, 2-2. Good take. Well, Pyro Kim, I see what you're saying, but my point is having a lot of whether they're people or bots coming in and clicking and leaving. Here's the 2-2 in the dirt, full count. Whether or not they're bots or people coming in, clicking, and then going out, doesn't matter. What matters is they click and leave, and that causes YouTube to recommend my channel to fewer people. This is hit hard to center field, but it should be playable. Marcy's underneath it, and he puts it away. 1 away. Pena comes to the plate in just a moment. Yes, Crispy. He's come out several times and not given up runs. Back in Little League. Here comes the first pitch to Pena. Right in there, 95-mile-per-hour pitch. That was a good-looking pitch. Right down the middle, fast, and had a lot of movement on it. Nice-looking stinker. 0-1 is the count. To the flash. Pena hits that one into left field. A soft fly. Center fielder is over to grab it. He puts it away for out number 2. 2 fly balls put away by the center fielder. 2 up and 2 down. Next pitch for Quantrill will be his 30th, and he is facing Sanchez, who's already 1 for 1 today with a nice solid single. Here comes the pitch. A little far inside. Could have been called either way, but it goes Sanchez's way. Ball 1. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled off. Oh, my interview yesterday, I think it went pretty well. It was not quite an interview so much as it was because I had a couple of interviews before that online. It was more a face-to-face meeting and a kind of feel each other out and check out the situation and see, you know, if we were a good fit for each other. This is fouled off in the top of the zone. 94-mile-per-hour fastball. 1-2 is the count to Sanchez. 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the 3rd. Maybe get that run back, Sanchez. Get that run back, man. A solo homer here. Get that 2-run lead back. Here's the pitch. High. Good take. 90-mile-per-hour cutter. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But thank you for asking. I have some things to consider and think about regarding that position. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. High again, 95 miles an hour on the fastball. Full count. Sanchez is laughing. He's having fun with this at bat right now, it looks like. Here comes the 3-2. Right in there, fouled off, 93 miles an hour. He's laughing at the... Look at this when he... Look at him laughing. He's laughing while he's batting. Because this was his team before, so he's laughing at the situation. Here's another 3-2. This is hit up the middle. It's another hit. It's a center field. Is he going to book it to second? He's going to try. He's going to try. Is he going to get there? Yes, he is. Sanchez books it around. Opposite field double for Sanchez. He's got a single and a double. He's going to be working on the cycle today? Maybe so. He's putting a smile on my face just watching him at the plate. Altuve comes to the plate once again with Sanchez on base. Is this the second 2-run homer? How awesome would that be? Altuve would take the home run lead for the Astros if he could plug one out here. Sanchez got on base last at bat. Altuve drove him in with a homer. Let's see if we can get a repeat here. That's too high. Ball one. Yeah, it's nice to see Sanchez enjoying playing against his old team, having fun with it and getting some hits, just making the game fun. Next pitch is low and outside. Ball two. Good takes by Altuve. He's looking for that pitch. Maybe Quantrill will give him that same high pitch. I think it was a high slider. No, it was a cutter. A high cutter. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Hey, there was a high sinker, but way out of the zone. Good take by Altuve. 3-0. Look at Altuve up there taking them pitches out of the zone. He's making him pitch. He's like, no, man, I don't want that. You got to throw me something I can hit out of the park. Put it close to the zone. Here's a pitch. Oh, 3-0 right down the middle. He could have swung at that. Altuve should have been in launch mode at the 3-0 pitch, but he took it for strike one. Yeah, Tuck, he's enjoying playing against his team, his former team. Here's the 3-1. He crushes that one, man. He crushed that one to left field, but he came around way too early. It was an 81-mile-per-hour splitter. He crushes it to left field, calls a timeout. Man. 401 feet on the foul ball? Are you kidding me? Wow. Full count. Come on, Altuve. Take him to task. Let's get that second homer. You've earned it, bro. Here it comes. Way high. Ball four. He won't pitch to him. 2 runners on. Carlos Correa comes to the plate with runners on first and second and 2 outs. I like you, Sanchez, too. He's playing well. Loving it so far. Yeah, Myers is definitely one of the fastest. He is fast. I miss Myers, too. Man, I'm really excited about thinking about Myers and Jordan being back in this lineup. Here's the first pitch to Correa. Right in the bottom of the zone. 81-mile-per-hour curveball, strike one. Correa has a ton of power. He cranked a home run into the back of the Green Monster the other day. And he drove several to the warning track. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. High and outside, ball 1. 1-1 is the count. Pitch count for Quantrill is up to 44. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. In the dirt and outside, 2-1. Chunky want wingy. If I had some wingy, I'd give them to you. I had some wingies a couple of days ago. Have you guys ever heard of a place called Caesarea? I'm interested to know. Here comes the pitch. Low and outside again. He's not throwing strikes to these guys. He's scared of this lineup. 3 balls and 1 strike. Might load him up for Christian Walker. But it is a hitter's count. Maybe Correa can blast it out. He takes a timeout here. That's a good time to call a time. Just get ready to go. Here's the pitch. The 3-1 is up and in, but fouled off by Correa. He spoils the strikeout. Full count. Hey, Texas Dave, welcome back. Good day to you, Fox at Bat. One of my members. Always good to see you. Pitcher disengages. So at first, Correa takes a timeout. Then the pitcher disengages, but he's back up on the rubber now. Full count with 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. In the bottom of the zone below, bases loaded. That's a walkie walk for Walker. So Quantrill he started off the inning pretty well. Couple of outs, and now the bases are loaded. Here comes the pitching coach. Christian Walker at the plate with an opportunity to really help blow this game open. Just a single would score 2 runs. We don't need much right now. Look at all the options. Okay, think about, I know that we have 2 outs, but think about all the options that Christian Walker has right now. Obviously, the bunt is not on the board. That wouldn't make any sense. But a walk, a single, a double, a triple, a grand slam, hit by pitch. Stick your elbow out there. Stick your elbow out there. Bonk. Walk in a run. Here's the first pitch. Low and outside. Quantrill continues to struggle putting balls in the zone. 1-0. Yeah, it's a jam for Quantrill, isn't it, Gregory? Here's the 1-0 pitch. Right in there, 96 miles an hour on the stinker. 1-1. Geaux. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. This is hit hard to left field and looks like it's going to be playable. And it is. A shortstop is over and he puts it away for out number 3. So Walker strands 3 runners on by flying out or fouling out. And Sanchez, Altuve, Correa, they will go back to the dugout, but not through first base. They do not stop at go. They do not pass go. They do not collect $200. They do not collect any runs. 1 extra hit, 3 stranded runners on base. Now here's the good news. The good news is that those are the only 3 left on base so far this game. Okay? In 3 innings, the Astros only have 3 runners left on base. Just 3. So if that plays out for the rest of the game, that's 9 for the whole game. And that's very close to just 30. That's about 30% of the usual. Big improvement. But we can't leave bases loaded, that's for sure. We can't be doing that, especially when we're only up by 1 run. Pyrochem says, been winning all season. I bet you have. I don't know anybody who is a full-time professional gambler, because gambling ultimately is a losing game. You know what? We got a new pitcher on the mound, AJ Blue Ball. I don't have an image for him. I got to get an image made for him. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about his name. At least there's not an S on the end. Oh, man. Here's the pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. He is facing Professor Xavier Edwards. He grounded out his last at bat. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Fouled out of play. 1-1 is the count. 94-mile-per-hour fastball. I didn't say it, King Tuck, but how can you not think it, right? Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Low and inside, ball 2. 2-1. I think this is a rookie guy. I am working on making an image for him right now, an icon, an avatar, if you will. Here's the pitch. Outside, 3-1. 81-mile-per-hour Swiffer. That had some nice movement on it, but it's got to be a little more competitive than that. He looks like a kid. I mean, he is pretty much. Rookie. Here's the pitch. In the zone. Hit to shallow left field. Sanchez is underneath it. Puts it away. All right. On the 3-1 pitch. Fly ball to left field. 1 out. Augustine Ramirez at the plate. Fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. 82-mile-per-hour Swiffer. Next pitch is in there. Fouled off again. 0-2. He is ahead of Ramirez. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. 88 miles an hour. They say that's a swing. Yiner has a chance to throw him out at first because he doesn't run. Augustine Ramirez, what the heck were you doing? Another brain fart on the part of the Marlins. Take a look at this. They call that a strike, and he just stands there. Look at the ball bounces away, gets past Yiner, and he's just standing there. By the time he realizes that he can run, it gives Yiner an opportunity to throw it to first and get him out. Wow. Next batter at the plate, 2 outs. Kyle Stowers fouls it off for strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. 95 miles an hour. Another foul ball. 0-2. They were saying that last pitch by Blue Ball, the one that got by him on that swing and a miss, it was a really dirty pitch. Diaz had a hard time catching it, went past him. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. 97 miles an hour on the fastball, strike 3. Look at that. Man, this guy started off some kind of nice. Fly out to left field and 2 Ks. Had a wicked looking slider. Has a nice fastball. Man, you never know. You never know, you know. You know how the Astros are with their pitching staff. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the top of the 4th. The Astros are up 2-1. Whatever works. That's right, whatever works. Let's see here. There we go. I'm making him an image. It'll be ready in just a moment. AJ Blue Ball. And we want to change that. Where's my font? There's my font. I think that's all right. Yeah, I think that'll work. That looks good. I'm working on getting a an avatar image made and downloaded for this new pitcher. I don't know how long he'll be in the game, but all Astros pitchers get a picture. Yainer Diaz at the plate. 0-1. I missed the first pitch, but Yainer hits that one hard out to left field. Just foul. Almost a homer. Man, that was crushed. Holy cow. Another just barely missed homer for the Astros. How many of those are we going to see? Wow. Next pitch to Yainer, the 0-2. Way high. Ball 1. 1-2. Top of the 4th. Astros with 3 hits and 2 runs. No errors. Lead the game 2-1. And the count is 1-2. Here comes the pitch. Grounded to third. Should be an easy play by the third baseman, but you never know with this team. He does make it. Unfortunately. Out number 1. So Diaz with an almost homer and then a ground out. Around 600 bobbleheads in the Bobblehead Museum. Next batter is Cam Smith. He takes the first pitch for ball 1, 1-0. Here comes the next pitch. Outside, 2-0. Here comes the 2-0. Ooh, 87. Right in the bottom of the zone. Cam went after it. but it went under his bat. 2-1 is the count. Come on, Cam. We need you to start hitting the ball. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. 3-1. Or you can start walking. You know, whatever. Don't swing at garbage like that, that's for sure. There comes the 3-1 pitch. That was a little above the zone, and he fouls it off. Could have let that go. Full count. The 3-2 count on the way. This is hit out to right field, but that's going to be playable. He went down and scooped it up. Once again, could have let that go for ball 4. He had a 3-1 count and swung at 2 pitches that could have been ball 4. Flies out, and that's out number 2. Mauricio Dubon comes to the plate. Doobie has 1 ground out today. Yeah, over the fence, bro. That'd be nice. Just a little over the fence. Just to pull in Altuve. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Ball 1. Here comes the 1-0. Dubon ropes one into right field just over the second baseman's head. We have another 2-out base runner. The 4th hit of the game for the Stros. Opposite field hit for Doobie. And that brings up Ramon Urias. Last at bat flew out to center field. A homer by Urias would be nice to see. That's way high. Ball 1. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having Jake Meyers back. 1-0. Here comes the pitch. Well, check swing, but that was a strike in the lower outer part of the zone. 1-1 to Urias. Quantrill goes over to first base. Doobie is back. Here comes the pitch. Below the zone. Good take. 2-1. 79 mile per hour curveball. That's a good question, Brendan, about when Jake Meyers is coming back. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Way high. All the way up to the top. 3 balls and 1 strike. According to the last thing I heard, Meyers should be back within the next 10 days. It's also similar to Jordan if he continues to progress like he has been. They throw over to first again. Dubon scampers back. Yeah, they're talking about Dubon possibly getting a Gold Glove award this year. He deserves it. Above the zone, ball 4. Urias walks. Once again, the same thing as last inning. Quantrill having a hard time. Got 2 outs, and then now he's having a hard time getting that 3rd out. Got 2 guys on with 2 outs, and Jeremy Pena, the big hurt, comes to the plate. A strikeout and a flyout today, but he is due for a big hit. Here comes the pitch. High fastball, hit hard out to right field, all the way out to the wall. It's off the wall. Heck yes. Pena gets all the way to third with a 2 RBI triple. That ball had some nice lift on it, some nice hang time. Doobie scores, Urias scores. I told you he was due for a big hit. And there it is. 88-mile-per-hour cutter right off the middle part of the wall there. That ball just kept carrying. I didn't think that it looked like it was going to go that far. But Pena was easily able to book it all the way over to third. He didn't even have to slide into third standing up. They're saying that Quantrill has a timer violation. That'll be ball 1. Sanchez at the plate before he even has a chance to get a pitch. It's ball 1. 1-0. 69 pitches now. Here comes the 70th. Whoa! Sanchez hits it hard to right field all the way out to the wall, and it's playable right at... Oh! Sanchez so close on that very first pitch. He gave it a rip all the way to the wall, and it was so close, just a few feet from being a 2-run shot. Wow. That's what I like to see, guys. Now, check that out. That's what I'm talking about. The first 2 batters got out. Quantrill had the Astros down to just 1 out remaining. Nobody on base. They come back, get 2 guys on, and then Pena comes up and hits a triple. That's what I'm talking about right there. Drive your guys in. 4-1 Astros with 5 hits going into the bottom of the 4th. The Astros have left 4 runners on base in 4 innings. That's absolutely wonderful. Just 1 runner left on per inning on average so far. Normally, at this point, the Astros have left on about 3 times that many. So, excellent performance. About 105 people listening in right now. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If you have not liked the live stream, please do so now. I've noticed that there's been a big shift in likes recently. For some reason, people aren't clicking the like button on the videos on the live stream as easily or quickly as they used to. Maybe it has something to do with the way the Astros have been playing. But between yesterday and today, maybe that will change a little bit. If you are an Astros fan, feel free to like the channel, subscribe, and if you can afford just a couple of dollars per month to be a member, you can also, if you join as a member, not only is it super cheap and helps support my channel, but you also get to use the custom emojis. And the more members we have, the more custom emojis I can make. Now, I think I need maybe 2 more members to get another custom emoji. And once that new custom emoji becomes available, I will let my members vote to see which player will be the next one to get the emoji. The first pitch is a strike. AJ Blueball is in the game again for his 2nd inning of work. He's facing Otto Lopez. Here's the pitch. Right up the middle, backhanded by Urias. He goes over to first base. He moved just fast enough to get that out at first base. He took his time to get it over there, though. Wow. And Lopez called himself safe, but he was out. That's funny. 1 away on the ground ball up the middle. Next batter, Hernandez. Heriberto Hernandez. Strike 1. Here comes the pitch. A little far inside, 1-1. Yeah, man, I'm gonna emoji bribe you. Actually, I've been thinking about ways to help support the channel so I can keep doing it. This is a fly ball. It's gonna drop. Arias, holy cow! Arias was out there in the last minute. He ducked out of the way, and nobody took it. The ball just bounced. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I'm looking at. This is a fly ball into shallow right center, and nobody really called it. Arias was out there in the last minute. He ducked away. Hernandez is able to slide in at second base. Look at this. What in the world was going on there? Runner on second. Hicks at the plate. Man, that was a strike on the inside edge, but called a ball by the umpire. Bad call there. They're not going to rule that an error. They're going to rule that a hit. That's nonsense. This is hit up to center field. Dubon tracks it down, grabs it. He's tagging and heading to third. I think he's going to get there. He does. The throw is there, but just a little late. Runner on third with 2 outs. Yeah, it was bad because Arias was underneath it. Nobody else called for it, so I don't understand why he ducked out of the way. If he doesn't hear anybody else call for it, why would he just duck out of the way at the last minute? You know, that didn't make any sense. Here comes the pitch. Right in there for strike one against Eric Wagaman. 2 outs, runner on third. Blue ball with a runner on base, but that's not his fault. It's not fair that he has a hit listed on him. That should not be a hit. That should be an error. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, outside and low. 1-1 is the count. He's been doing really well. There shouldn't be an earned run on third base, that's for sure. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Wagaman. Low and outside. The Swiffer missing its mark. 2-1. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Nice. That one was in there. Swing and a miss. The Swiffer again, but this time it was in the zone. Well placed. 22 pitches with 2 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off. 98 miles an hour. 98 miles an hour on that fastball. Blue ball's number is 69, by the way. No comment. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Broken bat down the third base side. Count remains 2-2. Yeah, Crispy, you're right. Urias, when he has like a what you call an unthinking play to make, dive and catch the ball. You know, scoop a one-hopper. He's really good at those. But when he has to think a little too much, he makes questionable plays. Here comes the pitch. 98 miles an hour, fouled off. The count remains 2-2. Walker, on the other hand, he also does the same, except it's a little different. If it's like a one-hopper or a dive and catch or something like that, Walker's really good at those things. A bad throw to first base, he's able to handle that. Diving catch on a line drive, he can handle that. But when the play starts to get a little complicated, he gets flustered. Here's the pitch. Right in there, 98 miles an hour, swing and a strike 3 against Wagaman. His fastest pitch ever thrown in the majors was that last pitch he threw right there, and he gets himself another K. This blue ball guy, is he a reliever or a starter? I need to look up. I need to look up some more information about this guy. I need more information. Let's take a look. 25 years old. Oh, he's my height. 6'2". 190. Yeah, he's around the same size as me. .38 ERA, 5.1 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts. 8 strikeouts in 5.1 innings. That's pretty good. Mansfield, Ohio. That's funny. I lived in Mansfield, Louisiana for a little while. Right after we moved from Houston, actually, not too long after that, we went to Mansfield, Louisiana, because there was a factory there, a steel factory my dad worked at. Let's see here. It looks like he's a reliever. Or at least they're using him as a reliever. It doesn't say. It just says he's a pitcher, but I guess he's a reliever. Can you imagine if he were a starter and he were really good? If he comes along, that'd be nice. Jose Altuve is at the plate facing Quantrill. Quantrill's up to 70 pitches right now. Here comes the pitch to Tuve. Hey, right down the line, but caught, man. What a rifle shot, that line drive. And Altuve's like, good catch, man. Line drive to Sanoya at third base. Bounces off his glove, and he's able to catch it. Man, that ball came in so fast it bounced off his glove and he was able to grab it. 1 out. Altuve has been difficult for them to put away. That's the first time they've been able to do it today. Carlos Correa comes to the plate with 1 out, nobody on. Here's the pitch. He hits that one right up the middle. Is it going to drop? Yes, it is. Right over the head of the second baseman. Nice. Very first pitch. Correa goes after it. This is looking like the Astros in that game yesterday, right? That 1 inning, the 4th inning. Just 1 hit pitch. 1 pitch hit, rather. Hitting that first pitch. By the way, Jeremy Pena, I heard today that Jeremy Pena, when he swings at the first pitch, his batting average is over 400. Christian Walker at the plate. Pena on first. Here comes the toss. 79 mile per hour curveball there. Strike 1. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. 86 miles an hour. The splitter. 0-2. Come on, Walker. Louisianals. I hear that. Yeah, if the situation requires a lot of quick thinking, it overloads Walker. That's why I don't consider his glove to be as great as everybody thinks it is. That's high. Ball 1, 1-2. People will say, well, he's got a gold glove. Well, yeah, he had a gold glove, what, 3 years ago? And it doesn't mean that he has the ability to catch the ball right now all the time, and he's really good at it right now. Up and in, 2-2 is the count. I don't understand why people say that. Maybe a guy could have won a gold glove 7 years ago, and we give him a contract and put him on first base. And if I say, that guy's not so good on defense, he's a gold glove. No, he was a gold glove. This is hit hard to left field, all the way out to the wall, and it's going to be dropped in off the wall. Correa is all the way around to third. Runners on second and third with a double. If Pena had been on first, he would have scored on that play for sure. That was a low inside pitch, just roped out there all the way out. Was it a one-hopper to the wall? Bonk. Yes, it was. Yes, sir. Still making some hard contacts. Yainer Diaz, is he going to get that homer that he missed out on earlier? I think his home run was maybe just 4 feet. 4 feet away from being a homer. Just that foul ball that he hit earlier. Low and outside for ball 1. Runners on second and third with 1 out. Another opportunity here for the Astros. Move some runners in. I believe that Yainer is in a groove right now. He's going to bring him around. Here's the pitch. He hits it hard. He gets it back. It's going to be gone. There's that home run, baby. I told you. It's gone. 3-run shot. Yainer Diaz all the way back into the upper deck in left field. 7-1 Astros. 7-1 Astros. Yainer gives them a massive shiner. How about that? Yainer was just crushing the ball all the way up until that hit. I was just waiting for him to get that, to pull it through. He hits so much better when he's involved in the game and catching than he does when he's a DH. Cam Smith comes to the plate and fouls off that first pitch. Quantrill still in the game with 80 pitches and 7 runs given up. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Cam. Crank it up, Cam. Yes, he does, to left field. Cam rips it into left field for a single. We got another base runner with 1 out. Mauricio Dubon comes to the plate. That splitter, 88 miles an hour. That's the exact same one. By the way, earlier, guys, when he hit that home run distance ball earlier and he pulled it just foul, it was the same exact pitch. He just pulled around on it too early. But on that one, he played it just right and crushed it. It looks like that's going to be it, perhaps, for Quantrill. Poor guy. How do you like that? His ERA, his performance has been amazing, and then the Astros have blown him up. We're going to take a break right here, guys and gals. The Astros have already put 3 on the board this inning and 7 overall on 9 hits. They lead this game 7-1. I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. I'm liking it. Wish we could have done this against the Red Sox. What you said earlier about Walker and Yainer next to each other in the batting order? What I said about Yainer and Walker being in the batting order still stands. What I said is correct based on not only the data, but their usual performance. So it doesn't change what I said. What I said is still right, because what I said is based on data analysis. They do better when they're split up, because the fact of the matter is, if you look in the lineup, the 2 biggest coin tosses, are they going to get a hit? Are they going to have a good game? Are they going to strike out? Are they going to be chasing pitches, etc.? Like, for example, Christian Walker is known to strike out a lot. He just does. Yainer Diaz chases a lot of pitches sometimes. He just does. And so if they're going to have a hit or have a good game or not, every single time they come up to the bat, it's a coin toss. And when you put 2 batters behind each other that are a coin toss, it might work out really well, like today, like these 2 at bats, or it's just strikeout, and the inning is over. So Actually, they just proved what I said. It's a coin toss. So if you were gambling, you would lose most of the time, but you would win sometimes. So I'm still correct. I'm 100% correct, and the reason is because I'm just reciting data. All right, Valente Bellozo is on the mound for the Marlins. Doobie at the plate. Here comes the pitch. He hits this one to the left side. Cam tries to steal, so he'll be safe at second base. Doobie gets thrown out at first, but Cam was stealing on the play, so they didn't have the double play on the table there. Cam advances to second base, and I need to change the pitcher's name on the screen. Valente Bellozo. Urias at the plate. Right in the top of the zone, 84-mile-per-hour cutter, strike one. Yeah, there you go, Gregory. There's your 7 runs. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Bellozo. 79 miles an hour right on the inside. Fouled off by Urias, and the count is 0-2. Well, this guy wasn't lights out this game. This is hit hard out to left field, all the way out to the warning track. Urias gave it a ride, but that's put away by the left fielder for out number 3. But man, Yainer Diaz, Jeremy Pena giving us some love there. Pretty funny. 7-1 the Astros at the end of 5, or rather the end of the top of the 5th. 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the 4th, 3 runs in the 5th. 7-1, 9 hits for the Astros, no errors. 3 hits for the Marlins, no errors. Bottom of the 5th coming up in just a moment. I'll be interested to see if blue ball is still in the game. Your phone died? Charge it up. Charge it up, baby. The 2-run shot, believe that no, that homer right there, that there were 2 people on. Correa and Walker were on. Yeah, Glenn, you step away for a few moments and then you come back. That's a nice thing to see, isn't it? 0-0, then 7-1. Let's see. What were your home run predictions? You said Smith, Walker, and Sanchez. So far it's been Altuve and Diaz. So we've got a couple of homers, Gregory, just not the ones you picked. But there's still hope. Got 4 more innings. Yeah, laptop for the rescue. They're showing some highlights of blue ball's pitches so far. 3 strikeouts in 2 innings. He's still on the mound. 81 in the top of the zone. Nice Swiffer. Strike 1. He is facing Jacob Marcy. Here comes the next pitch. That's hit hard to right field, all the way out to the wall, and it's gone. So maybe blue ball got a little too excited there. An 82-mile-per-hour changeup, maybe? Home run for Marcy. 7-2. Man, blue ball was looking so good. And then that was actually a Swiffer. Didn't have so much movement on it. Here comes the first pitch to the next batter, Javier Sanoa. Strike one. Maybe blue ball got a little full of himself there and a little overconfident. Maybe. We'll see. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. 95 right in there. Strike one. 0-2. Maybe that home run will bring him back down to earth and he'll get back to the way he was pitching before. Well, you know, the slump and on fire and being hot and all of those things don't really matter. Marlins were supposedly on fire and hot whenever we came into this series, and look at what's been happening to them. You never know, but I do think that the Yankees think a lot more of themselves than what they are. Low and outside, 2-2 is the count to Sanoa. But I think that the Astros were able to use the Red Sox series and this series to kind of get things together. Maybe when they play the Yankees, they'll be able to sweep the series. Low and outside on the Swiffer. Full count. But I'm excited to play the Yankees too. The Stankies, I really want to go in there and smack them around. Here's the full count pitch. Sharp hit to Walker, who snatches it up and steps on the bag for out number 2. I'm sorry, out number 1. Oh, they got the Yordan Alvarez Space City bobblehead. It's funny how they're promoting bobbleheads for players who haven't been in the game in a long time. Not even on the field. Here's the pitch. This is hit high in the air on the very first pitch by Edwards. Whoa, what in the world is going on there? Dubon was calling for that. Cam Smith just ran over and cut him off, and Dubon is like, what in the world? Look at this. Yeah, Dubon didn't look too happy about that. Two outs. The look on Dubon's face was disappointed. But the crowd wasn't very loud. Seems like he should have heard it. Ball 1 to Ramirez. Augustine Ramirez at the plate. Here's the pitch. This is fouled off. 1-1. I'll tell you what, though, Cam Smith should have known that Dubon was all over that. You got to give the center fielder a little more respect than that. Cam Smith is a young guy. He's got ability, but man, Dubon looked very displeased with that. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. In the dirt on the outside, that Swiffer fooled him. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yes, that's right, Crispy. Hopefully he can reestablish a bond of friendship with Doobie. You have to really do something bad for Doobie to have that look of dissatisfaction. 97 above the strike zone, fouled off. Count remains 1-2. Oh yeah, the Blue Jays have been in front of the Yankees for a while, Gregory. Here's the pitch, the 1-2. Low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on. Two-two pitch to Augustine Ramirez coming from blue ball. Swing and a miss. Nice changeup below the zone. Another K. Yeah, blue ball shaking his head as he comes off the mound. A little disappointed about giving up the home run, I'm sure. But no harm, no foul. 3 innings pitched. 1 earned run. take a look at his performance so far on the mound. 39 pitches for Mr. A.J. Blueball. 28 strikes. Pretty good. No, I'm sorry. They just updated it. 41 pitches and 29 strikes. Pretty good. Pretty good. That's a really good ratio right there. You're talking about 75% of his pitches being strikes. Pretty nice. Three innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts. Not bad. Right now his ERA sits at 3.86. If he can be careful about giving up that long ball, then he will have a much lower ERA, I believe. Yeah, that's an interesting question, Isaiah. But yeah, of course, I'd love for the Astros to come play here. But if the Astros win the World Series again, then maybe they'll have an opportunity to do that. But they seem to always bring those garbage big market teams here. They bring the Cubs here. They bring the Dodgers here. And you guys don't know this because you're not in Japan. But whenever they do that crap, they advertise it everywhere. All of the convenience stores here in Japan, they advertise those MLB games. They have posters and pictures everywhere. And it makes me sick because I don't want to see all that. I don't want to see the Dodgers and the Cubs crap everywhere. First pitch to Jeremy Pena is a little outside for ball 1. Belozzo still on the mound for the Marlins. Pena with a triple today. Here comes the next toss. Low and outside again. 2 balls and no strikes. You guys have no idea. I'm so tired of seeing Ohtani everywhere. It wouldn't be so bad if he were with another team, but the Dodgers, it makes me sick. Right in the middle of the zone, fouled off. 84-mile-an-hour cutter. 2 balls and 1 strike to Pena. I was so unhappy when Ohtani went to the Dodgers. And it was for one primary reason. Because Ohtani's face is already everywhere. He's very famous in Japan. Everybody knows Ohtani. But when he went to the Dodgers, I just knew that suddenly I'm going to see Dodgers stuff even more. High. 3 balls and 1 strike. You know, Dodgers hats and Yankees hats are already like a fashion thing. You know, they wear that crap and they don't even know anything about those teams. But now that Ohtani's with the Dodgers, it just makes it even worse. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Pena hits that one into center field. It looks like the center fielder is not going to have any hard time getting it. Out number 1. Twins beating the Tigers 6-1. That's good news. Thanks for the update there, Brendan. Sanchez on the mound. Smiling again, nodding and saying hello to the pitcher. Nobody on, 1 out. Here in the top of the 6th. Here's the first pitch to Sanchez. It's just on the outside for strike 1, a curveball. 2 for 2 today with a single and a double. I'm sorry, 2 for 3. He had a fly out his last at bat, very deep right field, right at the wall. First swing, I believe. Very close to having himself a homer. Big smile still on his face. Here's the pitch. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Look at him getting all ready and stuff. Look, he keeps waving his bat around. He's messing with the pitcher. Way high. He's talking to the pitcher. The pitcher doesn't look too happy about it, though. 2 balls and 1 strike. Look at him waving the bat around. Isn't that funny? Ooh. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is hilarious. Can you imagine if Sanchez batted like this with every single pitcher in every game? If he'd messed with the pitchers like this all the time? Fouled off. No, that's not fouled off. That's in the left field. Man, that looked strange. That looked like it went off the bat and into the crowd, but that was a fly ball to left field. It's put away for out number 2. They're showing Altuve's home run from the first inning. Look at Altuve. He's showing off his biceps like he's a big strong man. That's hilarious. Altuve's at the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. Here comes the pitch. He goes after the first one, low and outside, fouls it away for strike number 1. Yeah, that's right. 4th of July, we clobbered the Dodgers 18-1. Happy Independence Day indeed. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Altuve hits that one out to right field, shallow. He's in on it. The right fielder puts it away. Nice blue glove there. Okay, so 5 batters in a row retired by Belloso. 7-2 Astros going into the bottom of the 6th. 3 up and 3 down. A nice quiet inning for the Marlins, something that they don't get to enjoy very often in this series. Currently, it looks like A.J. Blueball is still going to be on the mound for the Astros. I wonder what his pitch limit is. He's at 41 right now. Tiny Hulk, that's right. Altuve is like a tiny Hulk. That's true. I'm so glad to see him hitting the ball and hitting it out of the park. Whenever he goes through a slump, I really feel it. Oh, man. If Altuve has a great game and the Astros lose, I feel disappointed that they lost, but I'm happy that he had a great game and I'm able to get over it, no problem. But if the Astros win and Altuve is like 0 for 5, it really bothers me a lot. I hate to see Altuve go through an entire game and not get anything, you know. I would say definitely for sure that's the one thing that's hardest for me to deal with because I'm so emotionally invested in Jose Altuve. It kind of reminds me, for those of you who read stories or love movies or write. I'm a writer. I like to write novels and write stories, and I spend a lot of time thinking about all of my characters in the story. I don't just write them in as plot devices or to move things along. Everybody's connected somehow to the hero, and the hero is connected to the reader or the viewer, depending on what I'm writing, you know, if it's a script or a novel. But the whole point is to emotionally resonate with, connect with the hero. And when that happens, whenever things happen to them, you feel it. You become emotionally invested. And that's the way I feel about Altuve. First pitch is outside for ball 1. The next one is on the way. Grounded to first base. Walker scoops it up, takes it himself. Out number 1. 2 pitch. 1 out. Blue ball still on the mound. That's 43 pitches. Stowers grounds out. He's 0 for 3 today. Otto Lopez comes to the plate. Yeah, you're right, Gregory. You start to get really emotionally involved with certain players. You know, when they do bad, you feel it. You really do. Well, that's hit up the middle, but right at Urias, who grabs it. That ball almost hit blue ball. Very first pitch rifled right up the middle. 107 miles an hour. Look at that. Woo! Right under his leg. Two away. Heriberto Hernandez comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch. A little outside, ball one. The commentators are talking about now if blue ball gets through this inning quickly, he might be pitching next inning. Below the zone, 2-0. Yeah, Gregory, it's the same. Bagwell, Biggio, I know a lot of people who feel the same way about these players. When I was a kid, it was Glenn Davis. 96 miles an hour on the outside edge. Strike one, 2-1. Man, I am so hungry right now. I can't wait to cook me up some food. I'm going to have some eggs and bacon, hamburger steak, a couple pieces of chicken. 88 below the zone. It's a protein day for me. I've got some cheese in there. If I want, I don't really like liver, but I've got some chicken liver in there. It's good for my blood. 3-1 pitch on the way. 97 right in the top of the zone, fouled off. The count is now full. Yeah, the big bopper. There was another thing that connected me to Glenn Davis is that I had an uncle that looked just like him. He had the same facial appearance, the same. Oh, look at that! 97 miles an hour right in there, struck him out looking. Holy cow! And he struts off the mound. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3 in the 6th inning. 3 up and 3 down. Man, AJ Blueball probably going to be back out on the mound in the 7th. Holy freaking cow. 50 pitches. 34 strikes, guys. This guy just might be the real deal now. 4 innings pitched. 3.52. That might be updated. If that updates, I'll let you know. Let me take a look. If it goes down lower than that, I'll let you know. I believe in blue ball because he believes in himself. That's right, Crispy. Absolutely. And you know what? You know what I believe in? I believe in a fresh cup of coffee. That's what I believe in. I believe I deserve it. Abso-smurfly. Smurfin' By the way, I know where some of you are because some of you have told me, but if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, I'd like to hear where you're at. For those of you who are listening in and don't know, or those of you who are creeping my channel but you haven't spoken in the live chat or you haven't subscribed or whatever, I've been living abroad in Asia now for 12.5 years. I lived almost 7 years in China and now 5.5 years in Japan. Japan is where I wanted to be. It took a while to get here, but now I'm in Hiroshima. I had no plan to be in Hiroshima in particular, but because of the pandemic, I was looking for work and I came here. And just over time, I started kind of putting down some roots. This is the first time in my life where I've finally kind of settled into one location for more than a couple of years. I bought an old house here. This is my old Japanese farmhouse. Looks like before that they can even throw the first pitch, they got a pitch comm issue. So Belozzo is going to chat with the umpire and the catcher and try to get another pitch comm. But I'm just curious to know where you are all from, where you're at right now listening in, because we got some people in Asia, some people in Europe, some people in North America, South America. I'd love to hear where you are. Casey says it's breakfast anytime. I remember one time I went to a diner and ordered French toast during the Renaissance. During the Renaissance. Wow. You're like the Highlander. That's what I tell people when they ask me how old I am. I always say I'm 3,000 years old. I'm from the Highlands of Scotland. I am immortal. And they're like, what? My name is Duncan MacLeod from the Clan MacLeod. I'm immortal. I cannot die unless, of course, you cut off my head. But that would be a waste, because all my powers would not go to you. For those of you who don't know the Highlander, you should really watch that series. It's quite entertaining. That was back when TV was great. First pitch to Carlos Correa is a strike. 1 walk and 1 single for Mr. Correa today. Where's the homer? Coming up? Question mark? High. Ball 1. 1-1. I can't tell you guys how happy I am that Correa is back. I think that his presence on the team bodes well for the future. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Right in the low part of the zone. 92 miles an hour. Strike 2. 1-2. Astros go to another World Series and win it with Correa and Altuve, freaking Jordan, Pena, Myers, Caratini, Hunter Brown, and Framber Valdez, and heck, even JP France, baby. I want to see that. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. Arrighetti, Garcia, Javier. Even the newer guys. Walker. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Correa. Here comes the toss. In the dirt. 3-2. No outs here in the top of the 7th. This ballpark could not be more quiet. It is super quiet. Only, there's no talking. There's no nothing. It's just the sound of air. The sound of air. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Hey, that might be a hit. It's going to be down. There we go. Another single to right field. Off the inside edge. He fought it off and hit it into right field. Another single for Correa. He's been on base 3 times. Good job. That's hit number 10 for the Stros. Astros. Christian Walker at the plate, 1 for 3 with a double. How about a jacket? He takes that one for ball 1. Or you can do that. Don't swing at that. Don't listen to me, Walker. You just do what you're gonna do. I'll accept the result, unless it's a double play. If it's a double play, we're gonna throw down. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. High again. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Correa on first, no outs. Here comes a 2-0. This is hit to right field, but it's going to be caught right there by the right fielder. He doesn't have to move too much to get it. 1 away. Whoa. It looks like I don't have quite... Maybe I don't have quite enough hot water for a full cup. I'm going to have to go heat up some more water. It's all good. Yainer Diaz at the plate. Correa on first, 1 out. Here's the toss. Fouls that one off. Yainer with the big bomb, the 3-run bomb earlier. He's got a different pitcher right now, but I think also this pitcher has a similar style. 81-mile-per-hour Swiffer on that foul ball there. Yainer's in a zone right now. He cannot be stopped. Here comes the 1-3. I mean, I was looking at the 1 for 3. I said it's the 1-3 pitch. That's already a strikeout. I was looking at his 1 for 3, and I said, here comes the 1-3. What's wrong with me? I need some food in me. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. Here comes the pitch. Whoa, almost hit him. Up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Oh, we got a few extra comments in the live chat. I'll take a look at those in just a moment. Thanks, guys, for chatting it up. I really do appreciate it. If you're talking to each other or talking to me, it's all good. Here's the pitch. Ooh, up and in, swing and a miss. 85 miles an hour on the cutter. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tim says, haven't been here since the A's series. Things will get better for the Stros. Coming to you live from Longview, Texas. Yeah, Longview, I know. That's right. Here's the pitch. You said due east of Shreveport. I think you mean due west of Shreveport. But I see what you're saying. I definitely know Longview. Longview's not far at all. I've been through there many times on the way to Dallas. It's right there, right? 2 balls, 2 strikes, 30 pitches for Bellozo. Diaz fouls this one off. Spoils the strikeout. Yeah, oh, I missed several more. Let's see here. Here's the next pitch to Diaz. This is hit high in the air, and it's going to float out of play. The count remains 2-2. Crispy's in Hot Springs. Nice. That's not far from Shreveport. Matamoros, Tamaulipas, Mexico. Nice. Livingston, Texas. Nice. Cape Coral, Florida. Also nice. Man, it must be nice and humid down there, too. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Low and outside. Ball 3. Full count to Diaz, baby. He's showing some plate discipline. Look at this. Diaz did not go after that pitch. He did not chase that pitch. This is good. This is very good. Oatmeal, Texas. Jay, are you serious? This is hit hard. Man, he just didn't quite get the right angle on it. He flies out to center field, left center field, but he got a nice solid swing on it. Just got a little too underneath it. 100 miles an hour, 101 miles an hour off the bat. Out number 2. Oatmeal, Texas. Isaiah says in Houston. First person to say Houston, I think. This is hit hard into right field all the way out to the warning track and played. So Cam Smith gives a ride on the first pitch, but that's out number 3. Correa is stranded on first base. That's about 10 left on base by the Astros. That's not bad. 10 left on base in 7 innings. I'll take that. That's still a big improvement. 10 hits for the Stros and 7 runs on the board. 4 hits for the Marlins and 2. It's 7-2 going into the bottom of the 7th. And I need to go put my hot water on. I'll be right back, guys and gals. Alrighty then. Let's see. What else do we have? Yeah, Ron, also Houston Strong. Ah, okay, I see. Jay making the movie references there. Yeah, tomorrow's an early game. I got to get up A little earlier than normal for that game. Casey going all in on the references. Sign says 24 hours, but not in a row. That's funny. Hey, Shrewdly, thanks for stopping in. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome in. Have a safe trip out of town. AJ Blueball is back on the mound for the Stros here in the bottom of the 7th. He's facing Liam Hicks. First pitch is a strike in the bottom of the zone, the Swiffer. Immediately, Hicks calls a timeout. David is in H-Town also. Houston. Yes, that's right. The space between the paint and the wall. That's correct. This is hit to center field. Dubon calls. Look at that. Look at that. Did you see Dubon just toss some shade at Cam Smith? The Astros commentators didn't catch that. But that ball was hit into left center field. Dubon called it, and he came in to catch it. And after he caught it, he looked immediately over at Cam Smith out in right field, and he motioned at him like, that's how it's done. I call it, and you get out of the way. That was hilarious. They must have been talking about that in the dugout. That is hilarious. I love it. Fouled off for strike 1. Eric Wagaman at the plate. Here's the next pitch from AJ. Fouled off. 0-2. 1 out, nobody on base. Jordan says, not sure about Highlander. Took me 50 years to just start to get into Doctor Who. And I will never get into Doctor Who. I know that for a fact. Can't match the Highlander series, that's for sure. This is hit out to right field, all the way out to the wall. Might be trouble. It is gone. Another solo home run given up by Blue Ball. That's not good. 2 opposite field homers right over that fence. Right center field. 2 home runs given up in the same spot. That one probably about 6 or 7 feet over the wall. 7-3. Eric Wagaman with the homer. So it's basically all or nothing with AJ Blueball. Either they're able to hit it out of the park, or they don't get anything. Well, not even 6 feet over the wall, maybe 3 feet. First pitch on the outside edge, 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Strike 1 delivered to Jacob Marcy. 1 out, nobody on. Here's the next pitch. In the dirt. First wild pitch from Blue Ball. 1-1 is the count. Casey, yeah, I'll try that sometimes. Here's the pitch. 87. Outside, 2-1 is the count. You know, the ambient sound, it's just the ambient sound in the microphone. That's all you could hear in the stadium earlier. It was dead quiet. The commentators weren't talking. Nobody in the crowd was making noise. You couldn't hear anybody talking at all. That is fouled off, or strike 2. Jacob Marcy with a 2-2 count. Here comes the next pitch. 97 up and out, full count. They should be able to hold it. Bennett Sousa is now warming up in the bullpen. I'll tell you what, if the Marlins imported some Hiroshima fans and they were like they are here, that's high and outside for a walk. So we're going to have a base runner with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. The way that the Japanese fans do things at their games is that they don't stop making noise. Correa and Diaz are out to chat for a few moments. Josh Miller joins the party. Yeah, Tim, I got what you're trying to say. Going back out to battle some weeds. Good luck with that, Jordan. I've got to get myself back out there and cut some grass myself here really soon. It's annoying because doing all that work wears me out, and it keeps me from doing other work, but it has to be done regularly right now. It just blows up, gets out of control. 94 right in the middle of the zone to Javier Sanoa? Yeah, Sanoa. Runner on first, one away, no balls, one strike. Here's the toss to Sanoa. This is hit hard into left field. Somebody's over, Correa and Pena, but Pena takes it. Out number 2. Josh Miller and Espada were talking just now, and it looks like they're going to leave. Looks like they're going to leave him in the game. Espada's clapping, saying, "Let's go, man. Let's go, Blue Ball. Show me what you got, boy." We got a lefty at the plate. Xavier Edwards pops the first one foul out of play, strike 1. So Espada's giving him a chance to finish up this inning. This will be his 65th pitch. 0-1 is the count. Runner on first with 2 outs. I think Pena and Correa are getting along really well, Crispy. I think they'll be really good friends. Absolutely. They'll be good buddies. One big kumbaya. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Ooh, nice. 95 in the bottom of the zone. Strike 2. 0-2. One strike away from out number 3. Here's the pitch. Outside, 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Man, that thing moved like a changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the 1-2. Another one. 97 miles an hour. That floated outside. He's putting some movement on that fastball. Just not close enough to be competitive. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Edwards. Bottom of the 7th. Runner on first with 2 outs. Here's the 2-2. Check swing. Did he hold up? They say he did. Full count. Count was 0-2. Now it's 3-2. If Blue Ball can get Edwards right here, then he can end this inning. Otherwise, they will probably pull him out. Come on, you can do it, bro. Right in there and fouled off. 97 miles an hour on that outside edge. Finally throws the pitch that he was trying to throw before, but Edwards fouls it off, spoils it. Yeah, Shake. If that's the case, then they're already friends, right? They must be. Full count. Here comes the toss. Hit into left field. Should be playable. Sanchez is underneath it. He scoots back, and that's out number 3. How about that? 5 innings for Blue Ball. 2 runs given up. 2 solo homers. That's it. Good job. Now think about that. Let's look at this from a starting pitcher perspective, guys. You know, right now the way our pitching has been going with the injuries and stuff, you know, our backup pitching. If we had Blue Ball come in and pitch the first 5 innings and he gave up 2 runs, would you be happy about that? I would. This guy's got to be really content. I know that he's probably going to be upset. He gave up 2 homers. Of course, he's going to be. But you actually look at what he just accomplished, pitching 5 innings for the Astros and giving up just 2 runs. You got to be proud about that. You know, Espada believed in him at the end. And he was like, let's go. He was clapping. He was like, let's go. You stay in. Let's finish this. And he did it. Good job all around. I'm going to go grab my hot water right quick. Well, it would be cool to see them wearing capes, but they'd have to be so short because they would get in the way, right? Can you imagine them trying to swing the bat, run around and catch balls and make plays with capes on? It would be so difficult for them. It kind of works for Batman, you know, and even if, I know it's just a comic book character, but if you think about it, if it's real life and you have kind of a medium weight cape, you can actually kind of use it as protection and as a weapon. Doobie is at the plate. First pitch is on the way. Up and in. Called a strike. 87 miles an hour. Not a very good pitch to be swinging at. Doobie doesn't look too happy about it. Can't blame him. 0-1 is the count. Pelozzo's still on the mound. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. 84 miles an hour on the cutter. 0-2. Hey, Eric. Second straight day joining late, and the Astros are up. Big, yep. Keep doing that. This is hit out to right field, all the way out to the wall, and it's caught by Marcy right at the wall. Very close to getting a nice hit there. Doobie just a couple of inches away from getting a double. Marcy ran his rear end off to get to that ball. That was a nice hit by Dubon. Marcy just happened to be close enough. Ramon Urias at the plate. Low and outside, ball 1. Good take. Here comes the next pitch. This is hit hard to left field. All the way out to the wall. It's going to bounce off the wall and over the head of the left fielder. Arias jogs into second base with a double. All right. First hit of this game. Man, he just roped that one out there. Nice line drive shot to left field. We have a runner on second with 1 out. Astros was making a bid for more runs in the 8th inning. And that brings up the flash. Jeremy Pena. There we go, baby. First pitch from Pelozzo on the way. This is hit hard to left field, all the way out to the track. Should be a tag up by Urias. And it is, but he's just bluffing. He's going to go back. Not quite deep enough. Out number 2. Nice drive by Pena, but not quite deep enough. And that brings up the man, Jesus Sanchez. Having a really good game so far. 2 for 4 with a single and the double. Deep fly to right field, almost to the wall. He's just gunning for a home run. He's been like Diaz this game, just gunning for a homer. First pitch on the way. Fouled off. 80 miles an hour. Down the first base side. 0-1. Absolutely. Superheroes 100%. Sanchez still enjoying the at-bats against his former team here. 0-1 is the count. Runner on second with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. He hits this one really hard, but it's too high out to right center field, and they run into each other. What in the world is with the outfielders today? There's a collision between the center fielder and the right fielder. The center fielder calls it, but the right fielder just runs into him. No communication out there today for the Astros or the Marlins between the center field and the right field. Right fielder immediately apologized for it. Is there something in the air out there? Casey? It's that quiet air. It's the sound of air. It's messing up the communication between the right fielder and the center fielder. The sound of air. Goodness, that's good. Do you guys have any idea how much coffee this live streaming is making me drink? Take a look at this. For those of you who remember when I went to pick this up, I went to Costco to pick this up. This is 3 pounds. 3 pounds of Kirkland coffee. Kirkland Signature Colombian coffee. It's approved by Juan Valdez. Right? This is the good stuff right here, baby. 3 pounds. It's almost empty. It's almost empty. I'm going to have to either make a trip to Costco again soon or order some online, but I think I'm going to drive to Costco. If I drive there, I can pick up a bunch of stuff. I can stock up on eggs. You can keep eggs for a long time, so I can stock up on that. Get myself some more bacon. Pick up a few other things. Try to make a good protein trip, a good keto trip. I need to make a list, build myself a big collection of keto things. You know what I'm saying? Jose Abreu is now in the game for the Stros. Jose. Did I say it again, guys? Are you kidding me? So we got rid of Jose Abreu, but I can't get him out of my mind. I am so sorry, Brian Abreu. My bad. First batter is at the plate, Augustin Ramirez, and the pitch is inside for ball 1. Blue ball did really well, but now it's time for Abreu to come into the game. Boom. Next pitch is a swing and a miss below the zone. Chas McCormick is out in left field now. No, center field. Dubon has shifted over to left. Here's the pitch. Low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yes, Eric, you are right about that, sir. Better Jose Abreu in my head than in the Astros lineup. I agree with that. So it'll be easier for me to get rid of him. This is tapped to Abreu, who fires over to first. A terrible throw, but he manages to get it. Walker stretches for it and is able to keep his foot on the bag. Man, Abreu had the nice easy throw over to first base, but he threw it almost over Walker's head. However, it's an out. One away. Kyle Stowers at the plate takes that first pitch for strike one. Timeout called for some reason. Next pitch, 2-4 inside. Check swing. He does not go around. 1 ball, 1 strike to Stowers. Nobody on. 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 8th. Abreu on the mound. Here's the toss. Swing and a miss. Nice. 97 miles an hour right in the middle of the plate. Stowers was under that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. A little high. Very close. 2 balls and 2 strikes. John thinks that Sanchez needs to hang out with Jordan a little more to be quicker on the ball like him. Maybe. Fouls it off. I think Sanchez has been looking pretty quick on the ball this game. He's looked really good this game. He's got a lot of energy. He's having a lot of fun batting against his old team. And I think that has something to do with it. 2-2. Here's the toss. Abreu puts that one in the dirt. The slider slides right into the doit. Full count. To the Friendship League. Here comes the 3-2. Oh, nice looking pitch, but he lays off for ball 4, low and inside. Runner on first with that walk. Otto Lopez comes to the plate in just a moment to face Abreu with 1 out, 1 runner on. Here comes the first pitch, rather. 96 just above the zone, ball 1. One and 0 is the count. Here comes the toss. This is hit high in the air out to left field. Doobie underneath it. Doesn't have to battle with Chas McCormick. 1 away. Stour goes back to first base. I'm sorry, 2 away. 2 away. That's the second out. I don't know what I'm thinking. 112 people following along. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate you coming in and listening in. 85 likes on the live stream. That's pretty nice. I haven't said much about it in a while, but it's shot up pretty quick from 60 to 85 without me saying anything. Thank you so much for liking the live stream. Here's the pitch. This is grounded to Pena at shortstop. He fires over for the 3rd out. Otto Lopez goes down. Just like that, Abreu gets the 3rd out. 1 runner on, but no harm done. 11 hits for the Astros, 5 for the Marlins. Almost said the Mariners. 7 runs for the Stros, 3 for the Marlins. Astros have put up at least 2 runs in 3 different innings. The Marlins have managed 1 run in 3 different innings. Satisfied with the results so far. Hey, old dog, welcome in. Good to see you. Hi, Ricky. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Almost at 90 likes. We need 3 more to get to 90 likes. I don't know if we're going to get to 100 likes or not. It'd be nice, but we'll see. Getting close to 900 subscribers. I don't know how many I've got right now, but it has been creeping closer and closer. Let's see here. Live count subscribers, 878. Need about 22 more subs to get to 900. So 22 subscribers short of 900. 122 more to go to get to 1,000. Getting there. Top of the 9th. Marlins have a new pitcher on the mound. Josh Simpson. Finally a simple name. Good grief. Josh Simpson on the mound for the Mariners. A left-hander. A name that I can pronounce no problem. With spelling no problem. Yeah, Fred, I scared myself too when I said Jose Abreu. Simpson is going to be facing Jose Altuve's 1 for 3 today with that home run blast in the first inning to get the Astros started. First pitch is 80 in the top of the zone for strike 1. Line out, fly out, home run. Altuve has been hitting the ball pretty hard today. Here's the pitch. A little inside, ball 1. 1-1 is the count. I can understand why you do a double take. Jose Abreu, what? Here comes the 1-1. Altuve hits it up the middle, and that's going to be a single. All right, second hit of the day for Altuve, a homer and a single. A lead-off single. Here in the top of the 9th. Are we going to get our score to double digits? I wouldn't mind that at all. Carlos Correa comes to the plate with Altuve on first, no outs. Two for 3 today with a couple of singles. Also a walk. Here's the pitch. A little on the inside, he holds up, but it is a strike. Jammed him just a little bit. 95 miles an hour. 0-1 is the count. Yes, we are haunted by the ghost of Jose Abreu. Here comes the pitch. Low and inside, almost hit him in the leg. 1-1. Maybe that's why, Crispy, maybe that's why we're having an issue scoring our runners when they're in position, right? We get runners on base and don't score them. It's because of the ghost of Jose Abreu. He's still alive, but there's a ghost. His spirit is still here. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Correa. Long delay, though, by the pitcher. He fouls it off. 82-mile-per-hour curveball. 1-2 is the count. Absolutely. Go Stros. Let's go, go, go. Altuve at first. 1-2 count to Correa. A little outside. Close. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Correa trusting the umpire to call that one correctly. He had a little faith. The umpire didn't let him down. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Simpson. Nope, he goes over to first base, but Altuve's back easily. Yeah. Exercise those demons. 2-2. Here's the toss. Way outside. Full count. 96-mile-per-hour fastball missed by a substantial sum. Crispy, that picture has nothing to do with me. That's from the MLB site. The batting picture doesn't come from me. That comes from MLB. That's the official MLB API image. It automatically updates. Here's the pitch. The 3-2 is fouled off at the plate. 82-mile-per-hour curveball on the inside. Well, Brendan, a lot of companies already do blocking of VPNs or make it difficult for you. I'm aware of that because I've been living abroad now for over 12 years. Here's the pitch. Opposite field hit. And Altuve tried to dive back to first base, but he gets tagged out. Line drive. Bounce down the right field side. Not much Altuve could do there. Correa hits it right down to the first baseman, who steps on the base and tags Altuve. Double play. Lucky break for the Marlins. Nobody on now with 2 outs. Christian Walker at the plate. First pitch check swing, low and inside. Did he go? It looks like it's going to be a strike. Are you kidding me? Josh Hader's warming up in the bullpen? Really? That's interesting. Okay. Here's the next pitch. Yeah, I guess if you're within a grand slam, then you want to have your ace come in and try to shut it down. Fouls it off there. Christian Walker with the 0-2 count now against Josh Simpson. 2 outs, nobody on. Jason, the answer to that is no. There's this little thing called copyright you might be familiar with. Pitch is in the dirt. Christian Walker goes around too far, and that's strike 3. That's out number 3. That's all she wrote for the 9th inning. The Astros don't tack on any more runs. They've got 12 hits for this game and 7 runs on the board, no errors. The Marlins have 5 hits and 3 runs with no errors. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Astros 3 outs away from ending this game and taking the series. I have to keep my clips, my game clips, limited to very, very short, just a few seconds. I can give you guys glimpses of the games and glimpses of the highlights and stuff like that, but if I put in large clips of the game, then I get copyright claims, and then I can't make any monetization. I can't make any money off of the monetization, so I limit that. But if I were to just live stream the game or just let the whole game play, then that would be a copyright violation, and my live stream would be taken down. If I were to have that happen a few times, then I could get my channel taken away by YouTube. So of course I would not do that. That would be ridiculous. It would be a total waste of my time. The amount of time and money that I've spent to build this channel is substantial. And to be honest, when I see other channels do something very simple, like the guy that I mentioned earlier today, he's a Chinese guy, and all he does is sit and talk about things going on in China maybe for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes. He'll just sit there and talk about all these things that are happening in China. And he shows some clips here and there. But in just 2 months, he's already got over 10,000 subscribers. I started this channel just over a year ago, and I'm not even at 1,000 subscribers yet. And I guarantee you that I put a ton more time and money. All he does is sit in front of the camera and talk about his country, his home country. I mean, can you imagine if all I do is sit in front of the camera and talk about America? Or I'm living in Japan now. What if I just sat in front of the camera and talked about Japan for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes every day, and I could get 10,000 subscribers in a couple of months? It seems like a better choice, right? But this is my focus because this is what I really wanted to do. Here's the pitch from Hader. The first pitch is a little low and outside for ball 1. I'm just waiting for YouTube to really get my channel out to more Astros fans. Liam Hicks at the plate takes that second pitch just a little outside for ball 2. Crispy, you're welcome. And that's another thing, guys. It took me a while to get to where I could figure out how to properly show clips. It was a big learning curve. Here's the pitch. That's hit high in the air, foul. Correa's over there, but it goes out of play. One strike now. 2-1 is the count. I mean, I wish I could show more. But trust me, I'm absolutely doing the most that I can while staying within the guidelines. You know what I'm saying? I haven't gotten a copyright claim in a long time, so I've gotten much better at it. Here's the pitch. Right in there. Good pitch. 95 on the outside edge. A little stinker. Josh serves up the Haterade. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Here's the next pitch to Hicks. Swing and a miss. There we go. Tommy likey. Tommy want swingy. How about a little Haterade for you? Would you like a little Haterade with that, Tommy? You want Haterade with your swingy? 1 away. Eric Wagaman comes to the plate. He has a walk and a homer today. He has a solo homer off a blue ball. That first pitch is outside for ball 1. Here comes the pitch. Low and inside, ball 2, 2-0. Well, Jason, what you're talking about is those are timing issues. Sometimes it's reverse. It doesn't always update. It just depends. Outside, 3-0. The timing doesn't always work out exactly right. Sometimes the stats come up on the screen first. Sometimes I see the information first. That's in there. 95 miles an hour for strike 1. 3-1 is the count. Here's a pitch. That's a walk. 1 out, 1 runner on first after that walk to Wagaman. And it looks like there's a little issue with MLB freezing again, so I'm going to refresh my screen actually. Man, what in the world is going on right now with the MLB site? The screen just went completely black. Did you guys see this? I don't know what's going on. It's completely black right now. I'll refresh it one more time, see what happens. Please Clear your cache on your browser settings. What in the world is going on? Give me just a moment. Let me try to work this out and see what's up. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe not. Strange time to be doing it too, right at the end of the game. It's having a hard time loading the game. Let me go into my settings. I'll do what it said. I'll do what it suggested to do. Go in and clear my cache. Cached images. Let's try that. Okay, that's done. Now let's go back to the player here. Try to reload it. Yeah, that's right. Jose Abreu just got signed and it crashed the feed. You guys have to bear with me. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. It's not loading the video. Now the site itself is up, but it might be a problem just with this particular game, this particular game's feed. Let me take a look over on the ESPN site to see if it has the updated information. Okay, it says Myers just struck out. There's a runner on first still with 2 outs. Sonoya is at the plate to face Hader. Strike 1 swinging. The count is 0-1. Still haven't loaded up the MLB site, but I'll try to keep you updated as best I can. It's 2 outs. Hader's still on the mound, of course. Next pitch to Sonoya. What's the result? Let's see. Maybe he took a timeout. Even the main page of MLB is I'm having a hard time loading it. Wow, the Athletics beat Washington. Is that game still going, or is that the final score? Let me check and see what's going on. Okay, the count to Sonoya is 1 ball and 2 strikes. First pitch was a strike swinging on a slider. Second pitch, strike swinging on a slider. Pitch number 3 was a ball low below the zone. The count is 1-2, and that's a foul ball by Sonoya. You guys see what I'm having to look at here. And that's it. Sonoya grounds out, and that's it. The Astros win. For some reason, though, I can't load the end of the game on the MLB site. It's not loading. I don't know what's going on. Can't work it out, but it's good that it happened towards the end of the game. It's over. Astros win. So at least we got the result here. Hader gets the job done. He walks 1 batter, strikes out a couple, and then with the ground out, the game is over. And check this out. Actually, Blue Ball gets the win. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. That's good. Good for him. He's now... Well, it says 0-1. It says right here he's 0-1, but now it makes him 1-1. He's 1-1 now. So, absolutely, Astros win the game. And we could do the quick scoring summary right quick. Here we go. In the first inning, Astros get on the board first with a 2-run shot by Altuve, scoring Sanchez 2-0. In the second inning, Marcy singled to left, scoring Hernandez 2-1. Pena tripled to right in the fourth, scoring Dubon and Urias 4-1. Diaz homered left center in the fifth inning, scoring Correa and Walker a 3-run shot 7-1, and that's when the Astros really pulled away. Now, Marcy and Wagaman both had solo homers off of blue ball, and they scored a couple more runs, so 7-3 is where the game would wind up. But, you know, for a rookie, he came in and did pretty well. 5 innings pitched, only gave up those 2 solo homers, never got in a jam. He was never in a difficult situation where he had a couple of runners on base. He never got into that. That's very important. Yes, he did give up a couple of solo homers, but he didn't have anybody on base to really worry about. He did a really good job. Nice solid 5 innings. If we look at the pitchers the Astros had today over here on the left side, let me move that over a little bit so you can see it right over here. Steven Okert pitched 1.2 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 strikeouts, no walks. Caleb Bort, 0.1 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk. Blue ball, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. 47 of his 70 pitches were strikes. Brian Abreu, not Jose Abreu, came in, pitched 1 inning, no hits, no runs, 1 walk. Hader, 1 inning pitched, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. So our relievers shut it down today. Overall, our pitching was solid. We only gave up 3 runs. I'm happy with that. If the Astros limit their opponent to 3 runs or less, then there's no excuse for them not to win the game. They should be scoring at least 4 runs a game. Even an average game, 4 runs should be the minimal that the Astros score. Tomorrow's game, we can take a quick look at the preview for tomorrow's game, as usual. Let's go down here to the full schedule. Tomorrow's game is going to be a little earlier for all of us, right? Junk is on the mound. You see that? Seriously. Is it Yunk? But it looks like junk. That's funny. All right. Let's see. Jansen? Surely his name is not pronounced Junk. Jason Junk. Is it? Maybe it's Yunk. Or Yunk. But Arrigetti's going to be on the mound for the Astros tomorrow, guys. Spencer Arrigetti back on the mound for the first time in a long time. Let's hope that Arrigetti has a really good outing. But the good thing is the Astros already have 2 games under their belt for this series. They won the series. It's a really good decision, I think, on Espada's part to have Arrigetti to change the lineup, to change the rotation, and have Arrigetti come in for Game 3. Give us a chance to win the series first, and then have Arrigetti come in, not so much pressure. I think it's a good move. Now that we have 2 of these 3 games against a hot team, we have completely doused the Marlins. We've tossed them back. Or maybe they are they are beached. The Marlins have been beached by the Astros. Now that we have taken the first 2 games, Arrigetti has a good chance to wipe this out tomorrow. 64-50. If you look over here on the side, where is it at? There we go. We can scroll down right here. Astros in the division, 64-50. And seeing Seattle and Texas here reminds me that I want to take a look at today's scores. Let's take a look at the scoreboard, guys and gals, shall we? Let's see what's going on across the MLB. Tigers are losing 6-3 to the Twins in the 9th inning. That's good. Good news. The A's whip the Nationals. Wow. That game's still not completely over. It's in the 9th. Let's see here. Anything else of note? The Yankees and the Rangers are playing right now in the 5th inning. It's 0-0. I guess in this game, this is a good question. Do you guys prefer that the Yankees, the Stankies lose right now, or the Strangers? Who would you rather lose, our division rival or the AL rival? What do you think? The Blue Jays losing to the Rockies 2-1. Go Rockies! That's only in the 4th inning, but you know, you never know. Maybe the Rockies are gonna go gangbusters and beat the Blue Jays. Angels won't play until later. Same with the Mariners. They're gonna start in just a few minutes, maybe about 10 minutes from now. The Mariners will be playing against the White Sox. Go Dirty Sox! But that's pretty much it as it relates to the Astros. But we win the game today 7-3, and we take the series. Let me take a look in the chat, live chat, and make sure that I'm not missing anything. We wound up getting to 98 likes. If you're still on the live stream and you haven't liked it, well, now 99. We just need one more like to get to 100. I'd appreciate you doing that right now. That'd be awesome. If you have not subscribed and you're an Astros fan, please do so. I'd love to have you join the community. And let's see here. Crispy says, second game in a row where our pitching was good and we scored runs. That's how you win games. Yep, teamwork, friendship, justice. Go Stros indeed. Yeah, thank you, Jason. And thank you, Christina. Christina. Is that how you say it? Christina? That's interesting spelling. I like that. Justin, thank you. 3 runs on a bullpen game. We'll take it. Yeah, that's right. And a nice performance. An unexpectedly really nice performance from AJ Bluebaugh. Daryl, you have a blessed day too. Thank you so much. Yeah, everybody on offense getting hits today. Eric says that if you told me that Okert and Ort were the first 2 pitchers and we got a win, I would swear it was Christmas. Christmas in August, baby. Christmas in August. Yeah, that's right. J Ball, he's a junk ball pitcher. It'd be really funny if the pitcher tomorrow was just throwing a bunch of junk, right? We'll see. Maybe he will. You know, you never know. Tim says, keep it rolling, Stros. Absolutely. Crispy says, I want the Yankees to beat the Rangers. I just want them gone. So you're more concerned about the Rangers in the division? Okay, I can get that. Yeah, getting the Rangers further away, I think I prefer that. We can always deal with the Stankies later, but I want the Strangers to be way back in the rearview mirror. Maybe so far away you can't even see them on the horizon. You know what I'm saying? Yep, old dog, same. Rangers lose. Great win. Thanks, Go. You're welcome. Thank you, Fox at Bat, and to my other members, Old Dog, Gregory. Any of my other members in here today? I've got about 5 or 6 members. If you guys haven't joined, please consider doing so. It's like super cheap. Literally, the first tier is just like $2 or $3 a month. It's super, super cheap. DeLion, I think DeLion was in earlier, but maybe hasn't been in recently. But DeLion's another member. Thank you very much for coming in. But yeah, that's it. It looks like I'm kind of caught up. Thank you, Fred. You're welcome. I hope you all have an excellent afternoon, morning, evening, whatever. On purpose, right? We got over 100 likes on the live stream. Thank you so much. Astros win. And we have nothing else to say here except see you tomorrow. And go Stros. Thank you again. Bye-bye.